The first episode of Teen Titans debuted exactly 18 years ago at the time of this video's release. Previously, I've covered the overall series and delved into Terra's journey throughout Season 2, but there's one aspect of the show that I still need to touch on: the last episode of Teen Titans and the conclusion to Terra's story, which I have a, feeling some of you might be interested in. So strap yourself in as we examine the series finale of the hit cartoon, the factors that led to the show's termination, and the ultimate legacy of Teen Titans. The final episode of the final season of Teen Titans, Things Change, aired on January 16th, 2006. After spending the entire 5th season fighting the Brotherhood of Evil across the globe, the Titans finally return home, only to find that their neighborhood isn't how they remember it. Shops and restaurants they once frequented have now been abandoned or demolished to make way for a new office complex. While the Titans ruminate over these changes, a strange creature with the ability to take on the physical aspects of its environment begins attacking the Titans and wreaking havoc on the city. And it is amidst this chaos that Beast Boy sees Terra in a crowd of civilians. While the rest of the Titans pursue the creature as it flees into the sewer, Beast Boy sets off in search of his friend. After journeying to Terra's grave and discovering that the statue she transformed into in her death is missing, indicating that Terra is in fact alive, Beast Boy searches for Terra all over the city, revisiting the places they once shared memories together. Yet the results of his search are fruitless until he comes across Slade, who insists that Terra is better off without Beast Boy and that she is choosing not to remember him. While Beast Boy defeats Slade, who turns out to be a robot version of the Titans' nemesis, Slade's final words clearly haunt the hero.
She doesn't want to see you anymore. She doesn't want to see you anymore. She doesn't want to see you anymore.
Throughout the episode, Terra doesn't seem to remember any of her previous life with the Titans, going as far as insisting that Terra isn't even her name. Yet in the episode's last scene, Beast Boy makes one final plea to his friend, insisting that Terra was happy with the Titans and that things should just go back to the way they were.
Things were never the way you remember. Now just leave me alone. Things changed, Beast Boy. The girl you want me to be is just a memory.
As Robin radios to Beast Boy for help and interrupts the conversation, Beast Boy still asks Terra to come with him.
You go. You're the Teen Titan. That's who you are. That's not me. I'm not a hero. I'm not out to save the world. I'm just a girl with a geometry test next period and I haven't studied.
And with those parting words, Terra disappears into the crowd. Beast Boy solemnly replies to Robin saying that he's on his way, and in the final shot of Teen Titans, he turns and runs into the light. While it's left ambiguous whether or not Terra remembers any of her previous life, or if she has even returned from the dead at all, I personally believe that Terra does remember more than she initially lets on, as evidenced by her final conversation with her former friend. Ultimately, however, it doesn't matter why or how Terra is back. What matters is that while she may be back, things changed, and she's not the person she once was. She was never meant to be that person. And the best thing Beast Boy can do is accept that and rejoin his friends in the light. It's a bittersweet ending to the series, but it's an ending that feels honest and even mature for a kid's show. But why did Teen Titans end here in the first place?
We had an amazing, dedicated crew of really talented people. We had a terrific writing staff of really gifted people. We had a fantastic voice director in Andrea Romano. We had an incredible voice cast of terrific human beings and great guest voice actors. The music was amazing. Cartoon Network gave us great support. At every level, it was like magic. I don't know if that will ever happen again.
A variety of reasons have been proposed from a variety of sources on why Teen Titans was cancelled. Poor toy sales, declining ratings, a lack of interest from executives, and more. But I think the most conclusive explanation to the show's cancellation comes from two of the show's writers and story editors, Rob Hoagie and Amy Wolfram. According to Hoagie, who spoke on the matter on a Teen Titans fan site in December of 2006, The creative team was informed at the beginning of the pre-production of Season 5 that this would be the show's final season. Originally, 20 episodes were planned for Season 5, but this was eventually reduced to the usual 13 episodes before the writing process got very far along, which Hoagie indicated required making some serious modifications to their ambitious 20-episode arc. While little is known about how Season 5 would have differed had it included 7 more episodes, Hoagie did share that he initially planned on Slade seizing command of the Brotherhood of Evil after they failed to properly deal with the Titans. But of course, this story thread ended up on the cutting room floor, and Slade remained absent from the 5th season, aside from his brief cameo in the finale. Hoagie goes on to say that as the team was finishing up the writing phase for Season 5, Sam Register, an executive producer on Teen Titans, proposed a rebranding of the series after Season 5 ended. And with Hoagie and writer and producer David Slack already moving on to new projects, it fell to Register, series creator Glenn Murakami, and writer and story editor Amy Wolfram to pitch a new concept for the show's 6th season.
We had a wonderful cast and crew. Everyone contributed, but I'll also add this. The fans gave it back. We had this wonderful experience, but then it was even better when we met the fans at Comic-Con and we saw the message boards and we saw how so many people love the show. And it's meaningful to them, which means so much to us. And sometimes they get mad at the characters and get upset when someone's heart is broken and feel bad when a character faces prejudice. It was just great to see people respond to our work in such a wonderful way.
In a 2010 interview, Wolfram would explain that Season 6, which would have retitled the show to New Teen Titans, would have included an increased scope, with plans for Titans Towers to pop up all over the world. While this season would still include the 5 core Titans, it would have featured 24 main characters, with an emphasis on exploring many of the minor characters introduced in Season 5. Unfortunately, this pitch was rejected, and the show would not return for a 6th season.
So in many ways, and as hard as it is to imagine, the show was never technically cancelled. There was an 11th hour possible reprieve, but it never came to pass. Had Season 6 been a serious possibility, we wouldn't have ended Season 5 the way we did.
As disappointing as this is, it brings me some measure of comfort to know that the writers chose to end Season 5 on a note of finality, or at least as close to finality as they could get. Although technically, Things Change wasn't the last chapter in Teen Titans' story. As an animated film, Teen Titans: Trouble in Tokyo would release about 8 months after the end of Season 5, making this movie the finale to the series as a whole. And while Trouble in Tokyo gives us plenty of fun and important moments, most notably in Robin and Starfire solidifying their relationship, I feel that the Season 5 finale is a more appropriate ending to the series. Perhaps unintentionally, the ending to Things Change feels like a meta-commentary on the Teen Titans franchise as a whole. But before I get into all of that, I think it's high time that I address the green elephant in the room. Teen Titans Go, the spin-off series released in 2013, utilized the same characters and voice actors as the original series, but with a more lighthearted, humorous bend. And I'm just going to say this now, I don't care that you hate Teen Titans Go. I've never seen Teen Titans Go, aside from both animated movies, which are terrific, the second of which even brings back the original Teen Titans from the original Teen Titans cartoon. But if you hate this show, ask yourself, why? I can't answer that question for you, but I'd be willing to bet that for many who do hate Teen Titans Go, it's simply because it's not the Teen Titans that they once loved. It's perfectly fair to criticize this show on its own merits, but if you were expecting Teen Titans Go to have the same tone and depth of the original series, I don't know what to tell you other than that staying mad at a kids show that wasn't made for you is a waste of your time. There were attempts at rebranding Teen Titans as far back as the pre-production phase for the original show's final season. For whatever reason, executives at Warner Bros. Animation and Cartoon Network didn't feel confident in the Teen Titans brand back in 2006. And after the success of the new Teen Titans shorts, a spiritual predecessor to Teen Titans Go, which debuted in 2011 and 2012, the rebranding of the series would finally come to fruition. And when Teen Titans Go arrived, it was clearly catering to a younger audience. Ultimately, it doesn't matter why or how Teen Titans was back. What matters is that while the show was back, things changed. and it wasn't the series that it once was. It was never meant to be that. And the best thing we can do as fans of Teen Titans is accept that and be grateful for the time we had with it.
I've never worked on anything quite like Teen Titans. When I read a script, these characters were very real to me. I think we created a world and a universe that just became very real to a lot of people, including the people that make it. Everyone working on it, from our staff to the licensees to the overseas studios, everyone just loved this show. It wasn't just a job, and I think it shows. I think everyone wanted to contribute something. And when you have a group of people working together on a creative project like this with that kind of dedication, well, that's just a singularly unique situation.
Look, I love Teen Titans. I loved it as a kid, I love it even more as an adult, and I've made 3 videos about it now. I've said pretty much everything I want to say about Teen Titans, and this will be my last video covering the series. I'm so grateful for this cartoon and the lessons it's taught me, and I think the last lesson that Teen Titans has to teach us is that it's okay to move on, that it's healthy to move on. It's healthy for things to change, even when it's painful. And at the end of the day, that pain and sadness is far, far outweighed by the hope and joy that Teen Titans brought and continues to bring to so many people. Making any art, and especially making a television show on this scale, is a ludicrous endeavor. It requires hundreds of hardworking, talented people to collaborate for thousands and thousands of hours to forge their hard work and talent into a single creative vision. To create something coherent out of that process would be an accomplishment, but the team that worked on the series accomplished much, much more than that. So I want to thank the people who worked on Teen Titans for pouring their hearts and souls into this series, because nearly 20 years later, that heart and soul is as visible as ever. Teen Titans may have faced a lot of trouble as it came to its end, and it may have changed a lot when it eventually returned. But I take heart in knowing that because of this show, people all over the world know how to deal with the trouble and the change in their lives just a little bit better. And if nothing else, when there's trouble, well, we know who to call.